The story begins with a master spy named Twilight, from the nation of Westalis, a neighboring nation of Ostania. In order to ease tensions between the two nations, Twilight is tasked with the job of investigating political leader Donovan Desmond from Ostania. For this to work, he would have to disguise himself as a psychiatrist named Lloyd Forger, and send his fake child to Eden Academy, the same school where Donovan's son is studying. Lloyd quickly adopts a girl named Anya as his daughter, not knowing she secretly has telepathic powers. However, in his absence, Anya accidentally reveals their location by sending a transmission to the Ostania minister and is kidnapped. Lloyd then comes to the rescue by disguising himself and setting up a trap to force the criminals to retreat. After Anya is saved, she passes the entrance exam to Eden Academy but was told that the second stage of admission was a formal interview with both her parents. In another scene, we see a girl named Yor Breyer, who works as a clerk at the Berlin City Hall, being ostracized by her colleagues for being single. She begins to worry that her secret identity as an assassin would be revealed if she continues to stand out from everyone else. Later in a tailor's shop, Lloyd and Yor meet for the first time and agree to form a partnership for the sake of convenience. However, on the night Lloyd is supposed to attend a party with Yor, a side quest makes him late, and he accidentally introduces himself as her husband. After they leave the party, the pursuers from Lloyd's previous mission catches them by surprise but are soon defeated. Yor asks Lloyd if they can keep pretending to be married after realizing how much their partnership will benefit her assassin work. Lloyd agrees and uses a grenade pin as a ring to pledge their vows. Now legally married, Yor moves in with Lloyd and Anya. In order to prepare for the Eden Academy interview, Lloyd tests Anya and Yor with a mock interview but they both fail. Lloyd then organizes a family trip to various cultural events to give them a better idea of what life is like for an upper-class family. As Lloyd starts to lose confidence in the success of his mission, he takes his family to the park to relax. There they witness a thief robbing an old woman. With the help of Yor and Anya, Lloyd successfully captures the thief and the old woman remarks that the Forgers are a wonderful family. That night, Lloyd conducts another mock interview with much better results, reassuring himself that if the old woman could believe they were family, then his mission still stands a chance. When the Forgers arrived at Eden Academy for an interview, they passed several screening measures, including stopping an accidental stampede from the school's farm animals, impressing Henry Henderson, one of the Academy's deans. They provide decent answers in their housemaster's interviews, but divorcee Murdoch Swan deliberately tries to ridicule and fail them. With the family angry and upset, Lloyd ends the interview. As the Forgers leave the scene, Henderson punches Swan in their defense. Back at home, Lloyd is convinced that they failed the interview, but agrees to leave the rest to luck as Yor and Anya gives him reassurance. Despite failing the interview, Anya got on the waiting list thanks to Henderson's intervention and was accepted to Eden Academy 3 days later. While celebrating Anya's acceptance with Frankie, Lloyd's informant friend, a drunken Frankie encourages Anya to ask Lloyd to reenact the rescue scene from her favorite cartoon as a reward. To meet Anya's demands, Lloyd uses his spy agency's resources to rent a castle and enlists his colleagues to perform the reenactment. After going through all the obstacles and getting into a fight with a drunk Yor, Lloyd rescues Anya, who promises to do her best at school for Lloyd's sake. In the second phase of Lloyd's mission, Anya must become an Imperial scholar to infiltrate the school party and reach Donovan. To do this, Anya must earn 8 Stella stars while avoiding receiving 8 nitrous bolts, which is the equivalent of expulsion. As Yor and Anya go shopping, Anya almost gets kidnapped again but is swiftly saved by Yor, who agrees to teach her some self-defense. Later during orientation day, Lloyd secretly arranges for Anya to be in the same class as Donovan's second son, Damien Desmond, as an alternative plan to make him Anya's friend. However, during the school visit, Damien's constant bullying of Anya led to her punching him. This gives Anya a tonitrous bolt and destroys her relationship with Damien, foiling both of Lloyd's plans. As Lloyd continues to urge Anya to apologize to Damon, her new friend Becky Blackbell tells her not to. When Anya finally has the chance to apologize, Damien realizes that he is developing feelings for her, but dismisses her apology out of embarrassment. This makes Lloyd think that his second plan has failed, and thus pushes Anya to follow his original plan, much to her dismay. Yor then helps Lloyd realize that he is stressing Anya too much, and when he goes to check on her, he notices that she has fallen asleep while studying. Just as Lloyd questions what it's like to have a family, elsewhere, Yor's brother Yuri Breyer learns of his sister's marriage. The next night, Yuri, working undercover for Ostania's State Security Service, aka SSS, visits Yor after interrogating the city council's informant from the Westalis Intelligence Service, aka WISE. Yuri has a soft spot for Yor and finds it hard to accept her marriage, so he asks Lloyd a bunch of questions in hopes of catching him off guard. However, Lloyd realizes that Yuri is using a conversation template from the Ostania Intelligence Agency and deduces that he is a member of the SSS. Later on, a drunk Yuri demands Lloyd and Yor kiss in front of him after seeing them uncomfortable touching hands, and threatens to annul their marriage if they didn't. As Lloyd and Yor are about to kiss, Yuri tries to break the kiss after a moment of hesitation, but is slapped by a drunk and embarrassed Yor. In the end, Yuri still refuses to accept the marriage, even though he recognizes Lloyd's good nature. As Lloyd begins to suspect Yor's involvement with the SSS, Yor is also troubled by her own incompetence as a wife. The next day, Lloyd follows Yor and disguises himself and Frankie as SSS officers in order to get information from her, but she eventually clears their suspicions. After that, Lloyd meets Yor again on the way home and advises her to be true to herself and not worry about her wife persona. A relieved Yor then expresses her happiness and gratitude for being Lloyd's partner. Back at Eden Academy, both Anya and Damien hear rumors that a Stella Star will be awarded to the most valuable player in the upcoming dodgeball tournament. On the day of the game, Anya and Damien's class go up against the athletically gifted Bill Watkins, who knocks everyone out except the pair. In order to protect Anya, Damien sacrifices his chance to get the star while Anya uses all her training from Yor to make the final shot. However, their efforts are futile as Anya fails the shot and loses the game. In the end, they discover that the rumors about the Stella Star were false, and the relationship between Anya and Damien remains stagnant. One day, Lloyd decides to take Anya to volunteer at a hospital, hoping to earn her Stella Stars for doing community service. However, her poor performance angers the staff and led them to their dismissal. As they are leaving the hospital, Anya accidentally senses the thoughts of a drowning boy and rushes to save him, earning her first Stella Star. Back at the academy, Anya's classmates spread false rumors about her behavior while Damien publicly defends her integrity. While talking with Becky, Anya comes up with a plan to get closer to Damien by asking her parents for a dog, in which they agree. In another scene, we see a genetically modified dog conjure up the image of the Forger family. After tirelessly completing side quests, Lloyd takes Anya and Yor to the Berland Aquarium to convince his neighbors that they are a happy family. However, while there, he is forced to take on the mission of retrieving a microfilm containing chemical weapon plans that is being smuggled through a live penguin. Anya secretly helps Lloyd find the correct penguin carrying the microfilm and tricks Yor into detaining the criminal recipient. After retrieving the microfilm and calming down the neighbors, Lloyd gives Anya a stuffed penguin. Sometime later back at home, Anya plays spy missions with her toys while Lloyd and Yor are also forced to play together to entertain her.